Tonight, we are going to discuss why you are unhappy with yourself. Now, it's not what you think. And why should you listen to me? Because I give very unique insights as touching life and destiny. I am not here to regurgitate concepts you've already heard. I do not consult other people's teaching to create content. Now, is it because I'm smart? Yes. But overall, in general, consulting other people's teaching for the sole purpose of creating content diverges from the rationale of understanding, because now you are able to teach something logical that you have little to no experience on. I don't know any other definition of a scam by proposing a premise which you have little to no understanding or little to no experience to back up your claim. All you sustain are anecdotes and quotes from various philosophy. The problem with that kind of teaching, sometimes it might work, but sometimes applied to your life, you find it difficult to produce the outcome. So every single thing that is going to be said is based on experience, is based on proving truth. And yes, I know noise and I don't have my microphone, so the audio quality might not be as excellent as usual. So you're unhappy with yourself for a variety of reasons. One might be, and that's not the emphasis of tonight's discourse, I'll just run down with you. You see your life through the lens of these options. The first one might be your personality. You dislike yourself as an individual. Perhaps there are activities you undertake that you dislike yourself for, or your genetics. All that is someone has told you you have to be of a certain height to attract women or to produce results, which is flawed, and you foolishly assume that belief. And one of the insidious things about belief is you do not need to vocalize the belief. Once sustained, you would produce the matching outcome. Say for instance, if you believe all rich people are bad, you would naturally gravitate to lower paying job. You would never strive for mastery in any category. You would be ambitionless. You would end up poor and broke. Why? Because rich people are evil. I don't want to be evil. If you sustain that philosophy, I will ask you a simple question, and I want you to be as honest as possible. If you can't tell yourself the truth, then there's no room for growth. If you cannot sit, analyze your decisions as a professional and go, this is wrong, or I'm being honest, this isn't right, there's no room for growth. You are beyond redemption. If I say to you, sir, in your righteousness, would you like a $10,000 raise? Yes, of course. So why do you desire something which you detest? Think about it. Or have you sustained the wrong programming that causes you to act in a certain way? For the sake of time, I would have loved to elaborate on this concept, but let's move on. I've been very busy. I do these videos out of the commitment to this channel. I really have little to no incentive to keep pushing out this content aside love and the desire for the enlightenment of the peasants. The second is comparison. Comparison ties to the initial point, which is someone is the yardstick of outcome. So for instance, you believe you have to be of a certain height. As a consequence, you are not that, and you dislike yourself, you're unhappy, you hate yourself, or you lack certain personality traits. Nothing out of the ordinary. You already understand this concept as I've explained in number one. But the main discourse of tonight's teaching is you're unhappy with yourself. Because you lack self-acceptance. The best way to accept yourself is to come to the conclusion, yes, I'm not fully formed, yes, I'm not perfect, yes, I'm not the best, but if I keep engaging in certain fruits, going to the gym, reading books, trying to start a business, based on the law of time and chance, I will grow to a point and become the kind of person I love. In fact, your desire is an intermediary between you and a mental attitude. Would you agree with me if you had $1 million cash, your behaviors will change? Exactly. So instead of waiting for that $1 million, why don't you just adopt the behavior, the mindset, scratch the desire and bootstrap to the behavior, and you'll be fine. Ponder on this. And as always, my friend, it's a pleasure speaking to you. I'll see you in the next one.